What if I told you there's a psychological secret behind why some people possess absolutely unshakable confidence? The kind of confidence that makes you completely immune to criticism, rejection, or social pressure. This isn't your typical stand tall and make eye contact advice. It's much deeper and more powerful. Today, I'm going to reveal a psychological principle so potent that it borders on psychopathic levels of self-assurance. But unlike actual psychopaths who lack empathy, you'll learn how to harness this extraordinary confidence while maintaining your humanity and genuine connections. What I'm about to share isn't taught in self-help books or motivational seminars. It's a psychological pattern I've observed in people who seem to operate on a completely different level. CEOs, high-level negotiators, and social maestros who can walk into any room and own it without saying a word. The truth is, most people are playing checkers with their confidence while the elite few are playing chess. After this video, you'll understand why your current approach to confidence has been holding you back and how to tap into something far more powerful. This isn't about becoming cold or manipulative. It's about accessing a level of self-assurance so deep that nothing external can shake it. Let's break down 5 key principles. 1. The inner foundation. Building confidence from within. True confidence is an inside job, a fundamental truth that many overlook in their pursuit of self-assurance. The modern world often promotes a superficial approach to confidence, emphasizing external behaviors and appearances over internal development. We're bombarded with advice about power posing, speaking with authority, and maintaining strong eye contact. While these external manifestations of confidence have their place, they're merely the tip of the iceberg, the visible expressions of something much deeper and more fundamental. The journey to authentic confidence begins with deep self-understanding. This isn't a quick fix or a simple matter of positive thinking. It's a gradual process of internal exploration and acceptance. Think of it like building a house. You can paint the walls beautiful colors and decorate with expensive furniture. But if the foundation is weak, the entire structure remains vulnerable. Similarly, attempting to project confidence without developing inner strength is like applying a fresh coat of paint to a crumbling wall. The process starts with honest self-reflection. This means taking time to understand your values, beliefs, strengths, and yes, even your weaknesses. It's about asking yourself difficult questions. What truly matters to me? What are my non-negotiable principles? What are my authentic strengths? And where do I need to grow? This self-exploration isn't always comfortable, but it's essential for building genuine confidence. A crucial aspect of this inner foundation is developing emotional intelligence. This means not just recognizing your emotions, but understanding their origins and learning to manage them effectively. Confident people aren't those who never feel fear, doubt, or insecurity. They're the ones who acknowledge these feelings and know how to work with them constructively. The inner foundation also involves developing a growth mindset. This means viewing challenges as opportunities for learning rather than threats to your confidence. When you understand that abilities can be developed and that mistakes are stepping stones to mastery, you build a more resilient form of confidence that can weather setbacks and failures. Moreover, this internal approach to confidence requires regular maintenance and attention. Just as a physical foundation needs periodic inspection and repair, your inner foundation needs consistent work. This might involve regular self-reflection, journaling, meditation, or other practices that help you stay connected with your inner self. Understanding the difference between confidence and arrogance is also crucial when building this inner foundation. True, confidence is quiet and secure. It doesn't need to announce itself or diminish others to feel valid. It's rooted in self-awareness and humility, acknowledging that there's always more to learn and room to grow. The beauty of building confidence from within is that it becomes increasingly stable over time. Unlike external confidence that can be shaken by criticism or failure, internal confidence remains steady because it's built on self-knowledge and acceptance rather than external validation or achievements. This inner foundation also influences how you interact with others. When your confidence comes from within, you're more likely to be genuinely interested in others rather than constantly seeking their approval. You can listen more effectively because you're not preoccupied with how you're being perceived. You can give credit to others freely because you're secure in your own worth. Perhaps most importantly, building this inner foundation helps you develop authenticity in all areas of your life. When you're confident from the inside out, there's no need to pretend or put on a show. You can be genuine in your interactions, honest in your communications, and true to your values without fear of judgment. The power of self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency and confidence is about developing an internal locus of validation, a concept that runs counter to many of our social instincts and cultural conditioning. From an early age, we're taught to seek approval from parents, teachers, peers, and later bosses and colleagues. While external validation isn't inherently negative, over-reliance on it creates a fragile foundation for confidence. The journey towards self-sufficiency begins with recognizing the difference between wanting approval and needing it. Confident people aren't immune to enjoying recognition and appreciation. They simply don't require it to maintain their sense of worth. This distinction is crucial because it marks the difference between choosing to engage with others from a place of strength versus seeking their approval from a place of need. Developing self-sufficiency involves building a strong internal compass. This means learning to trust your judgment, developing clear personal standards, and making decisions based on your values rather than external pressures. It's about becoming your own strongest advocate and most trustworthy advisor. This principle extends beyond emotional self-sufficiency to encompass practical independence as well. This doesn't mean you never need help or support. Rather, it's about developing the capabilities and resilience to handle challenges independently when necessary. It's about building a toolkit of skills, knowledge, and resources that allow you to navigate life's challenges with greater autonomy. Self-sufficiency also involves developing healthy boundaries. When you are not dependent on others for validation, you can more easily say no to things that don't align with your values or priorities. You can maintain relationships from a place of choice rather than necessity, which paradoxically often leads to stronger, more authentic connections. A crucial aspect of this principle is learning to self-validate. This means developing the ability to recognize and appreciate your own efforts, progress, and achievements without waiting for external recognition. It involves becoming your own cheerleader while maintaining a realistic and grounded perspective. One of the most powerful aspects of self-sufficiency is the freedom it provides. When you're not constantly seeking approval or validation from others, you can make decisions based on your true desires and values. You can take risks without being paralyzed by fear of judgment. You can pursue unconventional paths without needing others to understand or approve. This principle also involves developing resilience to criticism. When your sense of worth isn't dependent on others' opinions, you can receive feedback, both positive and negative, with greater equanimity. You can evaluate criticism objectively, taking what's useful and leaving what isn't, without letting it shake your core confidence. The practice of self-sufficiency requires regular reinforcement. It involves consistently choosing to trust your judgment, even when it differs from others' opinions. It means regularly checking in with yourself, rather than automatically seeking external guidance. It requires developing comfort with solitude and learning to enjoy your own company. However, it's important to note that self-sufficiency doesn't mean isolation or rejection of community. Instead, it allows you to engage with others from a place of choice rather than necessity. You can build meaningful relationships and collaborate effectively while maintaining your independence and sense of self. 3. The art of quiet achievement. In a world dominated by social media and personal branding, the art of quiet achievement stands out as a powerful alternative approach to building and demonstrating confidence. This principle challenges the common assumption that success needs to be constantly broadcasted and celebrated publicly to be valuable or valid. The essence of quiet achievement lies in understanding the difference between doing something for its own sake versus doing it for recognition. True achievers focus on excellence in their chosen field, driven by internal standards and personal growth, rather than external accolades. This approach creates a deeper, more sustainable form of satisfaction that fuels continued growth and achievement. This principle doesn't suggest that all achievements should be hidden or that recognition should be avoided. Rather, it advocates for a balanced approach where the primary focus is on the quality of the work itself. Letting recognition come naturally as a byproduct of excellence, it's about understanding that the most meaningful achievements often speak for themselves without requiring additional promotion or fanfare. The practice of quiet achievement requires developing strong self-discipline and intrinsic motivation. When you're not relying on external validation or recognition to fuel your efforts, you need to find deeper, more personal reasons for pursuing excellence. This might involve connecting with your values, passion for the work itself, or desire for personal growth. Quiet achievement also involves mastering the art of timing, knowing when to share accomplishments and when to let them stand on their own. This requires developing good judgment about what serves the greater good versus what serves the ego. Sometimes, sharing achievements can inspire others or create valuable opportunities for collaboration. Other times, letting them be discovered naturally creates more impact and respect. This approach to achievement often leads to unexpected benefits. When you're not constantly promoting your accomplishments, people tend to pay more attention when you do speak about them. Your words carry more weight because they're not diluted by constant self-promotion. Additionally, this approach often leads to deeper satisfaction as you learn to appreciate your achievements for their intrinsic value rather than their social impact. Another important aspect of quiet achievement is the focus on process over outcomes. While goals and results are important, a quiet achiever understands that true mastery comes from consistent, dedicated effort over time. This perspective helps maintain motivation and confidence, even when immediate results aren't visible or recognized by others. The practice of quiet achievement also involves developing discernment about feedback and recognition. Not all feedback is equally valuable, and not all recognition is worth pursuing. Learning to filter feedback and recognition through your own values and standards helps maintain focus on what truly matters. This principle particularly shines in professional settings, where consistent, high-quality work often has more impact than self-promotion. People notice and remember those who consistently deliver results more than those who constantly talk about their achievements. This creates a strong foundation for long-term career success and leadership opportunities. Quiet achievement also contributes to building authentic relationships and respect among peers. When you're not constantly seeking attention or recognition, you create space for others to shine and grow. This generosity often leads to stronger professional networks and more meaningful collaborations. Authenticity and confidence represents a paradigm shift from traditional approaches to self-assurance. Instead of trying to project an idealized image or conform to others' expectations, authentic confidence emerges from accepting and expressing your true self, including your imperfections and vulnerabilities. The journey toward authenticity begins with self-acceptance, a deep and often challenging process of acknowledging and embracing all aspects of yourself. This includes not just your strengths and achievements, but also your weaknesses, quirks, and perceived flaws. It's about understanding that these elements are not defects to be hidden, but rather parts of what makes you uniquely you. This principle challenges the perfectionism that often masquerades as confidence. True authenticity recognizes that perfection is not only impossible, but undesirable. Your unique combination of strengths and weaknesses, successes and failures, creates the texture and depth that make you interesting and relatable to others. Embracing authenticity requires courage. The courage to be seen as you truly are, rather than hiding behind a carefully constructed facade. This vulnerability paradoxically becomes a source of strength. When you're no longer expending energy maintaining an image or hiding parts of yourself, you free up tremendous resources for growth and genuine connection. The practice of authenticity also involves developing discernment about feedback and criticism. Not all feedback needs to be taken to heart. And not all criticism is valid or useful. Authentic confidence allows you to evaluate feedback based on your values and goals, rather than automatically accepting or rejecting it. Authenticity in professional settings can be particularly challenging, but potentially transformative. While maintaining appropriate professional boundaries, bringing your authentic self to work can lead to more meaningful connections, innovative solutions, and effective leadership. It allows you to contribute unique perspectives and approaches that might otherwise remain hidden. This principle also involves understanding and accepting your natural rhythms and preferences. Instead of forcing yourself into someone else's model of success or productivity, authentic confidence allows you to work with your natural strengths and tendencies, while finding ways to manage or compensate for your weaknesses. Embracing authenticity doesn't mean being rigid or inflexible. True authenticity includes the capacity for growth and change, while maintaining core values and integrity. It's about evolving naturally, rather than forcing change to meet external expectations. The practice of authenticity also extends to how you relate to others. When you're authentic, you're more likely to form genuine connections based on mutual understanding and respect, rather than superficial commonalities or social obligations. This leads to more meaningful relationships and stronger support networks. Perhaps most importantly, embracing authenticity creates a foundation for lasting confidence that isn't dependent on external circumstances or achievements. When you truly accept yourself, including your imperfections, you become more resilient to criticism and setbacks. 5. Building internal worth. Establishing an unshakable core of self-value. Building internal worth represents the culmination of confidence development, the establishment of a stable, enduring sense of self-value that remains constant regardless of external circumstances. This principle goes beyond self-esteem to create a deeper, more fundamental understanding of inherent worth. The foundation of internal worth lies in separating your fundamental value as a human being from your achievements, possessions, or social status. This doesn't mean these things aren't important or valuable. Rather, it means recognizing that they don't determine your basic worth as a person. This principle requires developing a nuanced understanding of the relationship between accomplishments and self-worth. While achievements can be satisfying and meaningful, they should enhance rather than determine your sense of value. This perspective allows you to pursue goals from a place of growth and purpose, rather than desperation or fear. Building internal worth involves developing a strong sense of personal values and living in alignment with them. This creates a stable foundation for decision-making and behavior that isn't swayed by external pressures or temporary circumstances. It allows you to maintain integrity even when it's challenging or costly. This approach to self-value also requires developing healthy boundaries and standards for how you allow others to treat you. When your worth comes from within, you're less likely to accept disrespect or mistreatment from others, and more likely to surround yourself with people who recognize and respect your value. The practice of building internal worth includes developing self-compassion and resilience. This means learning to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a good friend, particularly during times of difficulty or failure. Internal worth also influences how you view and pursue success. Rather than chasing external markers of success to prove your worth, you can pursue goals that align with your values and bring genuine fulfillment. This often leads to more sustainable and meaningful achievements. This principle extends to how you handle both success and failure. When your worth isn't tied to outcomes, you can take more risks, learn from failures, and celebrate successes without becoming dependent on them for your sense of value. Building internal worth also involves developing emotional intelligence and self-awareness. This includes understanding your triggers, managing your emotions effectively, and maintaining perspective during challenging situations. Perhaps most importantly, strong internal worth creates a foundation for authentic leadership and positive influence. When you're secure in your own value, you can focus on contributing to others and making a meaningful impact without needing constant validation or recognition. Practical steps to build this confidence. 1. Practice self-acceptance daily. Mo. Focus on internal growth rather than external validation. 3. Stay true to your values and preferences. 4. Accept feedback without becoming defensive. Celebrate your achievements quietly. 6. Build genuine connections rather than superficial networks. Remember, true confidence isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more authentically yourself. It's not a destination, but a journey of self-discovery and growth. This isn't about manipulating others or gaining power over them. It's about developing the kind of quiet strength that naturally attracts opportunities and builds meaningful relationships. Your journey to authentic confidence starts with accepting yourself exactly as you are while remaining open to growth and improvement. That's the foundation of real, lasting confidence.